Hey folks, this is Mike, and I'm back for another video in the series of a movie for each year of my life. Now I'm up to the year 1963, and the film that I've chosen, before I tell you that, the music in the background, you can hear it. This is the first album by the Talking Heads, Talking Heads 77. Here's the inner sleeve. And I thought this would be a good choice, since the movie I'm choosing today is The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Okay, Brain That Wouldn't Die. You see that? A lot of glare in this room. Oh my gosh. Which finally gives me a good reason to wear this stupid t-shirt, right? See? Brain That Wouldn't Die. Anyway. Okay, now this movie was actually filmed in 1959, and it wasn't released until, depending on which date you believe, it was either 62 or 63. On this disc, which was put out by Synapse Films, they list it as 62. I've read other books where it gives the release year as 63. So I'm kind of, well, I'm hoping that I'm right about that. If I'm not, please forgive me. But I'm choosing this as my film for the year 63. Anyway, wow, what a bad movie. One of the baddest bad movies ever made, but it is so much fun. I'm not sure why they didn't release it for 3 or 4 years. Maybe it was just so bad they were afraid to inflict it on the public. But anyway, it is a cool movie, and this version put out by Synapse is completely uncut. There have been a lot of versions floating around for the last 20 or 30 years. It's played on TV a million times, and they cut out some of the excessively gory parts, but this one has everything in there, so if you think that's a good thing, then pick this up. Alright, the story is an actor named Jason Evers, who for some reason on the actual film is named Herb Evers. I guess by the time this was released, he had changed the name to Jason. Anyway, that's what it says on the poster. So, he plays a doctor named Bill Courtner, who is a surgeon working with his father in a hospital. And he has a beautiful fiancée named Jan, played by actress Virginia Leith. Very beautiful woman. And Dr. Bill is kind of a modern-day Frankenstein, or at least he wants to be. He believes that it's possible to save people from death by actually transplanting body parts and organs. It's sort of like the same thing Frankenstein wanted to do. So that's what this guy is doing at his remote secret laboratory way out in the woods. And so one afternoon, he's driving Jan up to that country house, which is also a laboratory country house, out in the woods, and he decides to drive a little too fast, and he wrecks the car. And he's thrown free and rolls out to the field, and he's fine. But unfortunately, Jan, the girlfriend, is decapitated. So he does what any sane person, doctor or not, would do. He grabs her head out of the car, wraps it up in his coat, and he runs like a football player through the woods till he gets to his country house so he can save her. Right. So with his assistant Kurt, he puts the head into this thing that looks like a roasting pan, fills it with some kind of weird chemical fluid up to about here, and then he tapes up all of her head and attaches 4,000 wires and chemicals, starts pouring stuff through tubes, and eventually she wakes up, right? And it's amazing because after all she's been through, she looks great. Not a mark on her. I mean, she's got tape on her head, but flawless skin, every eyelash, mascara, everything is just perfectly in place. She's absolutely gorgeous. Looked better than she did before she was detached from her body, as a matter of fact. So anyway, this guy goes off. He decides what he's going to do is find a woman's body and chop off her head and then put Jan's head on the body. So that's his goal, right? So, of course, he starts going to sleazy strip joints. I guess he figures that if he has to find a body for Jan, he may as well find a really good one. So he starts doing this. Meanwhile, Kurt, the crazy assistant, is locked in the laboratory with Jan, who, as soon as she wakes up, apparently her vocal cords were also saved, because when she wakes up, she starts bitching. And it finally gets so bad that at one point, Dr. Kurt puts a piece of tape over her mouth so she can't talk anymore. So anyway, she starts communicating with this mutant monster that's living in the closet, right? Which is the sum total of all of Dr. Bill's weird experiments with transplants. Okay, it's a crazed monster in there. So they start plotting to get revenge because Jan is crazy. I mean, she still has her brain, but it's not working quite the way it was when she was a complete person. So she's now insane, and she wants to get revenge on the doctor because she thinks that she should have been allowed to die. Good choice, Jan. Anyway, so I'm not going to reveal any more of the exciting plot because I want you to see The Brain That Wouldn't Die. No matter what year it was made or released in, it is a cult sci-fi classic that is wonderful. In fact, it was made kind of famous by the Mystery Science Theater 3000 crew, who made a whole show out of making fun of this movie. It's great. In fact, they've got some of the quotes on the front here, what the robots say about this movie when they're reviewing it. Look at her. Now she's a paperweight. She's the centerpiece at any party. Boy, does she have a chip on her shoulder. Oh, God. Anyway, one of the best things about this, I don't have this on DVD, but I have it on VHS. Mary Jo Pehl, who was part of this group, she actually is made up to look like Jan in the Pan, which is an alternate title for the film now. And she talks about how she's trying to move on with her life. Anyway, this is almost as funny as the actual film. But so whatever happened to all these people involved in The Brain That Wouldn't Die? I have no idea what happened to Jason Evers. Maybe he changed his name back to Herb so nobody could find him. Actress Virginia Leith didn't have a very long career. Apparently she found it difficult to find roles that didn't have her up to her neck in medicinal fluid, and she was sort of typecast as a disembodied head after this, which is sad for anybody. But anyway, I really mean this. You need to watch this movie. So anyway, that is my movie for 63 or 62, depending on when it was released. I really don't care. Thanks for watching. Comments are welcome. Let me know if you've seen this classic, and make sure you watch Ian's videos. He's on a roll now. He's up to 1982, so check out his video. Thank you for watching.